While the Philippine government ramps up efforts to save 17 seafarers hostage by Houthi rebels, it is also finding ways to make global seas safer for Filipino workers. One international group sees a significant win against HIV/AIDS if governments will stop treating drug users as criminals. The breakup of Catherine Bernardo and Daniel Padilla is still a hot topic. From showbiz personalities to politicians, everyone has something to say about it. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. President Bongbong Marcos vows to exhaust all remedies to safely bring home 17 Filipino seafarers being held hostage off the Red Sea. In a short video message, Marcos also apologized to the Filipino community in the United Arab Emirates. This was after he opted to cancel his trip to Dubai for the climate change forum to focus on the hostage situation involving Yemeni Houthis. Now, the government is planning to send delegates to Iran to speed up the release of the Pinoy seamen. Meantime, the Department of Migrant Workers is already extending assistance to the hostage Pinoy's families. DMW is also looking for ways to protect seafarers abroad by identifying more maritime areas deemed unsafe for them.
We wish to discuss the matter on the possibility of looking into expansion of high-risk areas and zones in the Red Sea. Meron ng high-risk area doon off the coast of Yemen. Yung seafarer will be informed in advance kung dadaan yung barko sa high-risk area and has the right to refuse, no? But if the seafarer still chooses to board the ship, doble yung sahod niya doon.
Today, December 1st, is World AIDS Day. Now, the Global Commission on Drug Policy recently released a report saying that drug use law reforms are key in finally winning the fight against HIV/AIDS epidemic. Now, several nations are making headway in this battle by decriminalizing drug use. Now, will the Philippines join the movement? Joe Francisco filed a special report.
Optimism was high during last July's International AIDS Society Conference in Brisbane, Australia. The UNAIDS released a report that shows a clear pathway in ending AIDS by 2030. But despite the significant progress, the World Health Organization reports that HIV remains a pressing public health issue. Among the almost 40 million people living with HIV around the world, 9.2 million do not have access to treatment, and close to 2,000 people still die each day from HIV-related causes, despite availability of helpful medicine and therapy. And a lot of sectors are still being left behind, including adolescents, sex workers, and people who use drugs. Knowing all too well that the aim to end AIDS by 2030 is only possible if the problems of these key communities will be addressed, experts are now pushing for possible solutions.
You cannot effectively deal with wanting to bring the number of new infections down without looking at specifically what you need to do for each group of key population.
The Global Commission on Drug Policy recently published a report saying that decriminalizing drug use is key in protecting users from health hazards, including HIV and hepatitis. A separate Johns Hopkins-led study found no evidence showing that imprisonment is effective in deterring drug use. It was even stressed that incarceration often reduces a person's access to health care and even increases the risk of infection. We discussed the issue with Dr. Adiba Kamarul Zaman, a member of the GCDP who is based in Malaysia. The professor believes there is a need to overhaul drug policies that legally punish and incarcerate people for using drugs, as opposed to admitting them in public health systems.
What we're seeing is the interpretation of that UN Single Convention on Drugs is that we need to be harsh on drug use and continue to implement the war on drugs. But in actual fact, the spirit of the UN Convention on Drugs is for it to be viewed as a public health and a public health problem, that drug use is a health and public health problem. So what we're seeing now is that more and more countries are moving towards a health and public health approach to drug use. And in fact, there was a UN common position that was signed by all the UN entities for non-violent and personal drug use to be managed as a health and a public health issue rather than through the criminal justice system. And like I said, more and more countries are taking this, moving away from the war on drugs.
Here in the Philippines, President Bongbong Marcos included HIV/AIDS in his first SONA, but it remains to be seen how the new administration will tackle the battle head-on, and if the Philippines will join the international community in implementing reforms on how to handle drug users, especially after former President Duterte's controversial war on drugs that caught the attention of the world.
I think ang masishare ko po sa inyo ano yung current directions na meron sa DOH. Para sa aming mga doctor or health professionals, no matter how other people look at it, we look at the patient, the person having substance abuse disorder as a pasyente. The second is, meron naman pong direction yung current administration for community-based drug rehab. We're readying our health system to receive them. But also definitely kung yan ang direction, meron pong kailangan magbago sa batas natin sa RA 9165.
Jovi Francisco, we are One News.
And we're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. Thanks for staying with us here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. We now give you a quick look at stories making headlines at this hour. The draft for a fresh climate disaster fund has been approved at the opening ceremony of the UN COP28 Climate Summit. The fund will help vulnerable nations cope with the cost of climate-driven damage from drought, floods, and rising seas. Washington will be putting in $17.5 million, something that critics see as too measly from the globe's largest economy. No other nations contributing are the UAE for $100 million, Germany $100 million, Japan $10 million, and the UK with $76 million. Now, the EU is pledging at least $245 million to fund. Studies reveal that by 2030, developing countries have to shell out between $280 to $580 million per year for climate-related damages. Meanwhile, Comelec Chairman George Garcia said Smartmatic can still appeal its disqualification from election contracts. That's before the Supreme Court. However, Garcia said that the poll body's decision on the matter is final. Smartmatic accused Comelec of using a non-existent basis to ban them from future poll automation projects. And there could be mixed adjustments in the prices of petroleum products next week. Gasoline may go up by 25 centavos to 45 centavos, while diesel is seen to get cheaper 20 centavos to 40 centavos per liter. Now, no movement is projected in kerosene prices. This comes as OPEC Plus is expected to extend its supply cut based on its proposed output policy. Veteran showbiz columnist and 1PH host Cristy Fermin claps back at critics following the breakup of Catherine Bernardo and Daniel Padilla. Fermin, along with Ogie Diaz, were the first to report Kathniel's split weeks prior to the couple's announcement yesterday.
Ako po ay naglakas ng loob na sabihin dito sa CFM at sa SNN na hiwalay na po talaga sila ng matagal ng panahon dahil kumpleto po ako ng detalye. Ang tanging puhunan ko po sa trabahong ito, sa aking profesyon, ay kredibilidad. Hindi ko po ito tinrabaho ng magdamag lamang. 4 at 5 dekada ko po halos na pinagtrabahuhan ang titulong ito, ang kredibilidad na ito. Hindi ako humihingi ng anumang pagdidispensa mula kay Carla, kahit sa mga Kathniel. Lawakan nyo lamang po ang inyong isip, puso, at paghusga sa mga bagay-bagay habang hindi pa po ninyo nalilinawan ang lahat ng mga pangyayari.
Former Senator Laila De Lima offered prayers for Kathniel after they parted ways. De Lima took to Facebook to share photos of the former couple with her standee during a campaign event for the 2022 elections. The former lawmaker is hoping for Catherine and Daniel's growth and healing. And it's 24 days to go before Christmas. Now, for those of you who want to soak up the holiday feels, why not try the Giant Light Park in Taguig City? There, giant light attractions cover the whole 6 hectares of the lakeshore complex. Now, make sure to take photos in the rainbow, infinity graffiti, and dancing lights tunnels. Also, check out the 3D light model for the 400-year-old Santa Ana Church. Now, for kids, they will surely enjoy the light days, while performances in the concert grounds will be a hit for music lovers. Now, there's no entrance fee for Christmas by the Lake. It's open from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. from Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. every Friday and Saturday. Now, over in Bulacan, a 60-foot Christmas tree has also been lit. The giant tree in San Jose del Monte also features a home decked out in Christmas decors where families can take pictures. Visitors last night were even treated to a 20-minute fireworks display. Now, according to San Jose del Monte's LGU, they are expecting almost 200,000 Bulaqueños to visit the Christmas tree display this year. One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning. Have a restful weekend, everyone. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News, all sides, all the time.